So to start today, I want to ask you to just visualize something with me.
Right.
And this isn't just, pulled out of thin air. I'm looking at a very specific and honestly a slightly surreal transcript for our deep dive today.
Oh, this one. Surreal is exactly the right word.
It's a bit of a brain teaser.
It is. It's a fascinating mix of biology, technology, and what looks like a really charming translation mishap.
Exactly. So the source asks us to picture an animal. It's small to medium-sized. It's covered in fur, soft to the touch. It swims in rivers. But, and here's the kicker, it has a beak like a duck.
Right. It sounds like a mythical creature. Or, a prank, like someone took spare parts from 3 different animals, a beaver, a duck, and an otter, and just
glued them together in the door.
Exactly.
But no, we aren't looking at a myth. We are looking at a transcript from a YouTube video with one of the most intriguing titles I've seen in a while.
What was it again?
Old Teachers Without VCR. Comes from a channel. It's from a channel called The Magic Boy.
That title alone gives us so much to work with. Old Teachers Without VCR. It immediately sets up this contrast, right, between traditional education and modern tech.
A struggle to adapt, maybe?
Yeah.
And the VCR part is the linchpin. Because in the text, they establish a game. It says, when you wear a VCR, you can see an animal.
Which is fantastic.
Now, I grew up in the 90s. I know what a VCR is. It's that brick that plays tapes. You don't wear it.
No, you definitely don't. Unless you want severe neck problems. I mean, clearly, VCR is a malapropism or just a translation error for VR, virtual reality.
Yeah.
But I love that the text just sticks with VCR. It paints this picture of someone who knows technology is important but doesn't quite have the terminology down. It's a generational marker.
It's endearing, actually. It feels very authentic.
Yeah.
So the setup is the children or the player straps on this VCR headset.
Yeah.
They can see an animal. The teacher cannot.
Which is a classic information gap activity.
Yeah.
In teaching, this is gold. The teacher has to use the Socratic method, just pure interrogation, to figure out what the student is seeing.
It turns biology into a game of 20 questions.
Exactly. The teacher is blind to the digital reality, and the student becomes the eyes.
So our mission today is to follow this teacher's logic. We're going to reconstruct this puzzle step by step, using the text to see how they arrive at one of nature's most confusing creatures.
And we should pay attention to the logic. It's really a masterclass in deductive reasoning. You start with everything, and you just carve away the impossibilities until you're left with the only answer that fits.
All right, let's jump in. The source opens with a very specific vibe. I welcome you warmly to our channel. Hello, children.
It sets a tone, doesn't it? It's gentle. It's not a high-pressure test. It's a guided inquiry.
The rules are laid out simply. I will ask you questions, and you give me the answers. And the person wearing the VCR answers as if they are the animal.
That role play element is so important. It builds empathy. You aren't just observing a specimen, you're inhabiting it.
So when you say, I have fur, it's different than saying it has fur.
It's a different cognitive process, yeah. You own the traits.
So the questioning starts. And the teacher casts the widest possible net. Are you living, children?
The most fundamental binary, living or not. And the student says, yes, I am living.
Okay, so that rules out rocks, clouds, and, actual VCRs.
Right, so we're in the biological realm. But notice the immediate follow-up. The teacher asks, are you a plant?
Answer, no, I am not a plant.
It's just efficient taxonomy. Kingdom Plantae, nope. Kingdom Animalia, let's check.
Which they do. Are you an animal? Yes, I am an animal.
Okay, so a living animal, still a massive category. Could be anything.
So the teacher narrows the context. Are you a wild animal?
Yes, I am a wild animal. That's a crucial distinction. We're not looking for a pet or for livestock. This is something undomesticated.
And then they get into the scale of it. Are you small to medium in size?
Yes, I am small to medium in size, so we're not looking for a blue whale or an ant. We're in a relatable size range.
Now this is where I think the source gets really smart. The teacher starts throwing out major animal groups just to see what sticks.
It's a process of elimination by class, and the sequence is very deliberate. It's not random. First up, are you a bird?
No, I'm not a bird.
Now, hold on to that for a second. Think about what the student is seeing. We know where this is going. They see a beak, a bill.
Oh, right. So their first instinct, visually, might be bird.
Yeah.
The teacher is testing that bias right away.
Exactly. But the student has to admit, no, I am not a bird. So feathers and flight are, for now, off the table.
So the teacher pivots. Are you a fish then?
No, I am not a fish. No gills. Not fully aquatic.
Third major group. Are you a reptile?
No, I am not a reptile. This is huge. No scales, no cold-blooded scuttling. By knocking out birds, fish, and reptiles, the teacher is cornering the answer.
They're leading them right to the anchor point.
Yeah.
Are you a mammal?
And we get the confirmation. Yes, I am a mammal.
Okay, let's pause here. Because in the game, this feels like a safe landing, right? We know what mammals are. We have a checklist in our heads. Fur, milk, live birth.
Yeah, we expect a certain consistency. The player and us, we're kind of lulled into a sense of familiarity. Oh, it's a mammal. I know those. Maybe it's an otter.
But the source is about to take a very strange detour. Once mammal is established, the teacher moves to geography. Do you live near water?
Yes, I live near water. And then more specific, can you swim? Yes, I can swim.
So a semi-aquatic mammal. That narrows it. Beavers, otters, water rats. We're getting closer.
The teacher digs deeper. Do you live in rivers and streams? Yes. So we can rule out ocean mammals.
And then the geographical pin drop. Do you live in Australia?
Yes, I live in Australia. And for anyone who knows anything about biodiversity, the field just narrowed a lot. Australia is an evolutionary laboratory.
The land of the weird and wonderful. It's where evolution went to experiment.
Pretty much.
So we have a swimming mammal in Australian rivers. Now the teacher verifies his anatomy. Do you have 4 legs?
Yes.
Do you have a flat tail?
Yes, I have a flat tail. That's a very specific adaptation. A rudder. It sounds very beaver-like.
Then the texture. Do you have a soft body? Followed by, do you have fur?
Yes to both. I have a soft body and I have fur.
So let's just recap the profile. Wild animal. Mammal. Swims in Australian rivers. 4 legs, flat tail, soft fur.
If you stop the game right here, you'd be picturing something like an Australian water rat, maybe. Everything fits the standard mammal profile. No contradictions yet.
It makes sense. It's a mammal. Case closed. Or so you'd think.
And this is where the source takes a sharp turn. This is where the old teacher pulls the rug out from under everyone. The game changes from identify the animal to, wait, is that even possible?
This is the aha moment. The teacher asks a question that really shouldn't get a yes if we're talking about mammals. The question is, oh, do you lay eggs?
And I mean, in a standard biology textbook, the first bullet point under mammal is live birth. That's one of the defining traits. But here, the voice in the VCR says,
Yes, I lay eggs.
that is just a massive curveball. A furry, 4-legged animal that lays eggs. It breaks the rules the teacher just set up. They ruled out bird and reptile.
Right. So what is this thing? But the teacher immediately follows up to double check. Do you feed milk to your babies?
And the answer, yes, I feed milk to my babies.
And there it is, the paradox. This is why this animal is so famous. It refuses to pick a lane.
It's a mosaic creature. It has the fur and milk of a mammal, but the eggs of a reptile or a bird. This is what we call a monotreme. They're the only mammals that lay eggs.
A total mix and match. And just when you think it can't get weirder, the teacher asks about the face. Do you have a beak?
Yes, I have a beak.
A beak. On a furry mammal. And not just any beak. The source asks, is your beak like a duck's beak?
Yes, my beak is like a duck's beak.
The transcript actually have a funny typo here. It says, do you use your beak to find food?
Beep, I saw that. It's almost certainly beak, but in the context of the VCR, a beep almost fits, doesn't it? Like it's some kind of robot.
It does. But yes, the source confirms it uses this bill to find food.
And that bill is actually incredibly high-tech. It's filled with electroreceptors. So the VCR comparison is weirdly appropriate. This animal literally sees the world through sensors.
So let's visualize this now. Furry body, 4 legs, flat tail, and a duck's bill on the front. And it lays eggs.
You can see why when British scientists first got a specimen, they thought it was a hoax. They looked for the stitches. They were convinced someone had sewn a duck's beak onto a beaver.
The source really captures that same confusion perfectly. And then there's one more detail. Are you active mostly at night?
Yes, I am active mostly at night, so nocturnal.
We have the full picture. Australian, river-dwelling, furry, egg-laying, milk-feeding, duck-billed, nocturnal mammal.
At this point, the teacher has all the data points they need. The conflicting clues suddenly coalesce into the only creature that fits all of them.
And the teacher says, now I know. It's that moment of realization. They ask the final question. Are you a platypus?
And the voice from the VCR confirms it. Yes, I am a platypus.
Mystery solved. The platypus.
It's the only answer that could possibly fit that specific, contradictory set of clues.
But the source doesn't just stop at the name. I found the teacher's reaction really touching. They ask, are you a very special mammal?
And the answer, yes, I am a very special mammal. I think special is doing a lot of work there. It stands for bizarre, unique, evolutionarily distinct.
But special is the right word for a student. And the teacher even adds, "Oh, you are very talented."
You are very talented. That's such a sweet anthropomorphic moment. It frames the biological weirdness not as a freak show, but as a talent.
It reframes difference as a strength. The tone is just incredibly polite and encouraging through the whole thing.
It really is. It suggests the channel is about more than just data. It's about the relationship between the learner and the natural world.
Speaking of the channel, we have to mention the end of the source. It comes with all the classic YouTube call to actions, subscribe, hit the bell, but there's a little twist.
The plug for the novels.
Yes. The speaker says, if you haven't gone through my novels, go to Kindle eBooks and try.
It's such an interesting detail. It tells us the creator isn't just an educator, they're an author, a storyteller.
It hints at this whole other creative life behind the Magic Boy. You come for the platypus facts, you stay for the Kindle novels.
And it connects back to the whole idea of storytelling, doesn't it? The VCR game is a story. It has a beginning, a middle with a plot, twist the eggs, and a resolution.
So let's zoom out. We've gone from a riddle to a full identification.
Yeah.
What strikes me is how this source makes something really complex like taxonomy feel so accessible.
It's the power of the binary decision tree. The teacher didn't lecture, they forced the student to construct the platypus in their own mind.
By stripping away what the animal wasn't, they carved out the space for what it was.
Exactly. If they'd just shown a picture, the student would say, weird. But by asking, are you a bird? And getting a no, the student has to actively reject their first assumption. It engages the brain differently.
And it really highlights just how strange the platypus is when you have to say, yes, I have fur, and yes, I lay eggs in the same breath. The absurdity of it really lands.
It forces you to confront that nature doesn't always fit into our neat little boxes of mammal, bird, or reptile. Those are our boxes, not nature's. Sometimes you just get a special mammal.
It's a reminder that biology is messy and wonderful. And the way they use the VCR concept, even if it was a translation mistake, it adds this layer of discovery.
You know, I keep going back to that title, Old Teachers Without VCR. It sounds like they're missing out. But this video proves the opposite. This teacher doesn't need a high-tech headset to be effective. The game is the technology.
That's a great point. The VCR was imaginary. The learning was real.
The questioning is the software. The teacher is running a high-level simulation with nothing but words. And we just played the game, too. We put on the VCR of this transcript to see the platypus one piece at a time.
We certainly did.
Yeah.
And now, whenever I see an old VCR, I'm not going to think about rewinding a tape. I'm going to think about a platypus.
Answering questions politely. Yes, I am.
Yes, I am. So, as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave you with a thought. We talk a lot about categories and labels. We like things to be A or B, mammal or bird.
Tech savvy or old school.
Exactly. But the platypus refuses to play that game. It sits comfortably in the yes and category. So the next time you encounter something, or someone, that doesn't fit neatly into a box, remember the VCR game. Maybe you just need to ask a few more questions to understand what makes them very special.
And maybe check if they have any novels on Kindle. You never know.
Always check for the novels. Thanks for listening to this deep dive into the world of the Magic Boy. We'll catch you on the next one.
Goodbye.
See ya.